for many peoples in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Can you just explain that a bit further for us?
Dog, you can...
In the Taranaki province, there are places to go. Take the Taranaki mineral pools. They've been serving the community now since 1906, and they've become even more popular. Now, you know, you've tried all those Taranaki golf courses and you're looking for something relaxing. Now, this is the place to come. It's the Taranaki mineral pools right in downtown New Plymouth. The water here is magical. The rejuvenated complex is proving extremely popular, and the aching body will always be better for the experience. And where do you eat? Well, you can try Andre's, a high-class restaurant where the mountain will come to the customer. Andre's in downtown New Plymouth is an experience that'll certainly put a smile on your face. Destination Taranaki, not to be missed.
Join us again next week on Golf Today for another Tee to Green coverage of golf from around the world.
To me, the most important thing with the work here at the Mission is that people matter more than things.
There's always going to be people who live here on the street. I don't think you'll ever change it. I think if it wasn't for this place, a lot of people would be in a lot more desperate circumstances and more inclined to do desperate things.
The Auckland City Mission in central Auckland provides a huge range of social services. We provide clothing, food to those in need. We work to improve the lives of homeless. We offer support, advocacy. And as well as this, we operate a drug and alcohol detox centre. We run the country's only respite centre for people with HIV/AIDS. And we offer support services for elderly and children who've experienced trauma. Now, this program is about just some of those services we provide in this city. I coordinate the crisis care drop-in service at the heart of the mission and at the heart of the city. And for a long time, I've been a deacon at the local Anglican church, St Matthew in the city. Meanwhile, Diane Robertson coordinates the mission's activities as the missioner.
You know, it's been around for 84 years. And it was set up by the Anglican Church to work with, I guess at that time, the poor and the needy. I'm the first woman city missioner in New Zealand, and it's the first time that it's a non-clergy position. That's good. In the last 15 years, the government has pulled out more and more from providing social services, where the government basically closed down children's homes, they closed down mental health facilities, and said, people will go into the community and we will fund them. Now the people have gone into the community and the funding hasn't followed. And more organisations like ours have been there picking up the pieces.
We do this by being as accessible as we can to the people that need us. Here at 140 Hobson Street, central Auckland, we've got a number of teams and services based here. Let's start. As you come in through the front door, you're immediately walk into crisis care drop-in service. Opens up 8 o'clock in the morning for drop-in. Anybody who needs a cup of tea, have a coffee, use the toilets, read the newspaper, play a game of chess, that goes from 8 till 9 in the morning. 9 o'clock, everybody's out, the grill comes up, and we're now opening and operating as crisis care. That's anybody who needs a food parcel, furniture, advocacy, advice, done by the same staff, in the same location. That goes from 9 in the morning till 5 in the evening. Doors reopen at 6:30 of an evening. Now that's drop-in again. That goes through till 9 o'clock at night. Throughout the day we offer food parcels to anybody who may find themselves needing emergency help.
Well, all I do is sort of look after the food bank that they have.
Hi Ray, how's it going?
They help people out with food parcels. I make those up, and people come in during the day for bread and such forth. Get the gloves on, and we come over to the potato section. And we normally try to give about 2 meals per person. So on a rough estimate, 4 people, chucking a dozen spuds or something. I'm pretty generous with onions because I like onions, so chuck it. Then we come out with a few yogurts, get a few yogurts. A little bit of goodness for everybody. Bacon egg pie and a chicken and bacon meal. Not too bad. 4 bags of sausages. These ones, these look quite nice. One more for good luck, because you never know, they might like them. And that's about it. There's one food parcel for 4 people.
So where do you get the food from?
Pretty much just donations. Donations come through. We got a couple of supermarkets are really good. They give out all their bread and sweet things. People come in all the time dropping off food, and I think there's a few people that actually, when they go shopping for themselves and shopping for somebody else, and they drop off to somebody else here. I think they help a lot of people out without sort of people realising that they do, you know. When you got some poor guy earning minimum wage and a couple of mouths to feed, that's, you know, it's just not going to happen, is it? You know?
We just don't throw food at people. We actually try to look for the reasons and try to understand the reasons, and we try to bring a sense of solution to their scenario. It's not an experience that is pleasant, having to come and almost beg somebody to give you food. I wouldn't want to be in that position. The fact that they do it takes enormous courage. They open themselves to being humiliated or further embarrassed. They have to expose some of their life story. I admire them for being brave enough to approach us.
Many of those who use crisis care in our drop-in facilities are homeless. It's estimated that there's a good 150 people within 3 k's of Sky City that are sleeping rough. Here at the Mission we support them by helping them to get IDs, benefits, eventually work and accommodation. Meanwhile, we work to improve the day-to-day lives of our drop-in centre users. We have a free doctor, we run games, competitions, trips away, that kind of thing. There'll be remedial reading, numeracy, literacy, computers, those things that will help to improve the quality of life of people using drop-in, of whom many will be homeless.
Well, my situation at the moment is I'm living on the street, literally, in underground car parks or park benches. The reason it got into this situation is mainly alcohol and bad habit of spending my money on alcohol every week, even though I don't like doing it. It's just a real problem that I've struggled with all my life. You'll find that most people that live on the street have the same problem with alcohol or drugs or glue. You know, can't hold jobs or because of getting on the plonk. It's bloody hard work trying to, you know, when you've done jail, when you've spent your life in treatment centres and institutions, you know, you got to try and make a CV and try and get a job, you just can't compete. You know, you can only tart a CV up so much.
Talk is back, and we've got more guests, more music, and more insight than ever.
You were arrested in 81. Tell me about growing up. Why did you leave home so young?
Join me for the brand new series of Talk tonight at 9:10 here on TVNZ7.
They make us think.
I saw it as an exercise of what if.
They make us feel.
And she said, why didn't you write it 20 years ago, dear, when I needed it?
And next month, we can celebrate them.
The book is a classic. There's no question about that.
Join Finlay MacDonald as he gets up close and personal with some Kiwi classics to discover the story behind the story.
As the saying goes, easy to read, hard to write.
Under the Covers, coming in October for New Zealand Book Month on TVNZ7.
So I'm a social worker here, and I work in the crisis care centre here, but I also have an added role as homelessness worker, which I do 2 days a week. Being a homelessness worker, we work more in depth with people who are homeless, and we just track their journey and to see whether all the correct things are in place. For instance, if they got ID, so they can apply for a benefit, and then once they've got a benefit, can they get into employment? Yeah, so we can get something for you to sleep in so you'll be warm anyway. If we go to the night shelter perhaps, and then we'll make other inquiries for more permanent accommodation until you can get yourself sorted out.
I became homeless a couple of days ago. Went home and found out a little bit of domestics at home with another guy. Police were called. They escorted me off the property and just got nowhere to go. Families turned their back on me. Just absolutely nothing. Trying to find a home now was very hard. The prices that they're asking for is just unbelievable for a beneficiary to pay.
So where did you stay last night?
I stayed at the night shelter. Been there for 2 nights so far. You've got to try and keep yourself busy, trying to find a home, keep your mind busy, trying to do things, get a job. Just got to work things out slowly, day by day.
The main perception of people on the street would be one of basically they'd just be criminals. You know, if they got to that situation, it's how did they get to that situation? Why? And people always take the worst case scenario. You know, they don't sort of give anybody the benefit of the doubt. So you know, they take the worst case scenario and they see them and they probably just think scum, really. But in some cases that would be true. But in a lot of the cases, it's not so true. You know.
I've been coming in for about going on 27 years now. I'm still living on the streets myself, and I find it hard living on the street with police officers asking you can't sleep in areas, certain places you're not allowed to sleep. No, it wasn't for places like the Auckland City Mission, people were starved.
There's always that case, isn't there, you know, where some people could say he's just a bum, he doesn't deserve this, doesn't deserve that, but at the end of the day he's still a person, you know, and he still has to be fed and looked after, and you know, if he's not capable of doing it himself, then somebody has to do it for him. And I think I sort of know a few of the people that come in here, and quite a lot of them, are psychiatric patients that really can't look after themselves, you know, and they struggle. They struggle, and you know, I feel sorry for them, you know. And they've been biffed out, you know, given a few pills and told that they have to get on with it, and there's just no way, really.
I tend to think that our clients have been to all the other agencies. Many of them have been rejected by other agencies, so we have a residual group that are left. A group that are very self-expressive, a group that let it all hang out, that's got nothing to hide, and that's what I find so refreshing about working with our clients.
And beyond working with homeless, the mission runs a city-centred drug and alcohol social detox service. Addicts who are keen to make changes need to be cleaned for at least 10 days before they'll be accepted into a full recovery program. The centre allows them to do this.
Now, a social detox is where somebody can do that, can stop using what they've been using without significant medical implications. If, for instance, you were drinking meths, you would probably find to suddenly stop drinking meths is going to play havoc with the body. And so you would need probably medication to deal with that, and you would need to go to a medical detox. So this is a social detox. Up to 10 people any one time, usually staying 7 to 10 days. Then perhaps off to a program. There will always be a case plan put in place for what's going to happen after detox.
Well, my name's Ken, and I am an alcoholic. And I got involved with the City Mission roughly 20 years ago. And I was advised to come here and try and sort this problem I had out. I didn't stay sober then, of course. I stayed sober for a while, and then I relapsed into the alcohol again. I had to admit that I was powerless over alcohol. My life had come unmanageable. The only time I ever got into trouble was through drink, nothing else. Sober, I'm a totally different person. People tell me that, you know. I've been sober quite a few months now, and my last trip here to City Mission, I think, was about 18 months ago. And sobriety to me today is a bonus I've never dreamed of, really.
It's certainly not alcohol. We now have alcohol and other drugs. We have marijuana, we have opiate users, we have the famous P, people coming off P, which we're seeing more and more often.
Started using drugs at the age of 13. A lot of it was to hide a lot of pain and that I was going through. Considered myself an addict from the age of 15. Been using daily since I was 15 years old, so I've been using regular for 16 years now. I was using socially and all of that, but then it got to the point where I was hiding in my room and I was using like that. I mean, I've had some bad times, but I've had so many good times using as well, and that's why it's hard to give it up.
If they come in and detox for 7 to 14 days, and they haven't been sleeping, eating for the past few months, what we're doing is regaining their health a little bit. They might sleep for a whole week when they come here, and that's okay, they can do that. Getting some good food into them, plenty of fluids, building them up again to basically send them back out to use. Some people get it, but it's a very small percentage that will go out there and stay abstinent. So we have to look at it as a reduction model, or working in this field you go absolutely crazy because you can't save the world.
A couple of years ago I was wishing to do something about my drinking, and I came in here, and then I did my 2 weeks here, and then I went out again, and I was all right for a short time, and then I fell over. I rang them, and they said, yes, you can come back, which was absolutely wonderful, just wonderful, because here is where I feel so at home. It can happen to anybody. It doesn't pick out its victims. You can be manager of a big conglomerate, or you can be just a housewife. It doesn't matter.
The one thing I've found with addiction is it's not biased, sexist, racist. It does not care what religion you are or anything. It will grab you in the arse if it can. And I mean, that's the biggest thing, is it crosses all boundaries.
It's the ones who knock on the door 12 months later, who have been abstinent for 12 months and you don't recognise them. They are so healthy, so well looking, and yeah, that's the bonus of the job. And you get one of those, you may get one in 12 months, but that's one that will keep you working here.